The state of Louisiana is in full-fledged crisis mode when it comes to homeowners insurance due to hurricanes, especially for those living in South Louisiana coastal towns. Now tonight we take an in-depth look into the current situation as News 15 investigates what's being done to help those who feel they have very few options when it comes to purchasing home insurance. The insurance dilemma is hitting hard here in Louisiana. Over 20 insurance companies have gone under or left the state over the past couple of years. Now, this has forced hundreds of families to pay higher premiums or just go without coverage altogether. Levi Kastner is an insurance broker, and he says a number of different things will have to happen in order for locals to have more home insurance options.
I think it's going to take a little bit. I think it's going to be a multi-prong approach solution to get back. I mean, from realtors to builders to personal people taking better care of their houses, probably stricter building codes, and then, the builders associations going back to the insurance companies saying, hey, we're going to build to stricter building codes. Can we get some credits, or will that allow you to, new insurance companies to come back into the market?
Teresa Pastor has been a real estate agent in Lafayette for 13 years, and she's helped hundreds of people buy and sell homes over that time. Right now is the worst she's ever seen the home insurance situation in the state, and she says it's directly affected how and what homes residents can purchase.
The bottom line, it does affect that monthly note, so it's certainly affecting the price of a house that people can afford, and it does slow people down, because if everything that they see on the market is junk to them, well, yeah, they're not going to pull the trigger.
Anita Landry lives with her husband inside this home in Delcambre, and they've been dropped by 3 different insurance companies over the past year. Now, currently, they're with Louisiana Citizens, which is the state's insurer of last resort. The Louisiana Department of Insurance approved a 63% rate increase for Louisiana Citizens, which went into effect on January 1st. Landry says she is disgusted with the lack of options that her family has when it comes to home insurance.
I think we have no choice. I'm very disappointed in our insurance commissioner, Mr. Donnelly. I mean, it looks like he would try to, I think once Rita passed, he just let things go and never, that's how I feel. And maybe he did something, but I feel like he never did anything to entice insurance companies to insure the citizens of this state.
Now, to get those numbers down, the Louisiana Commissioner of Insurance, Jim Donlin, tells me that he has asked the legislature to let him use a $20 million surplus to help fund a bill that would be patterned after what was done after Hurricanes Katrina and Rita, and was very successful.
Called the Louisiana Insurance Incentive Program, patterned after what we did in the aftermath of Katrina and Rita, that was very successful in attracting ultimately 30 small regional companies to our market to replace the exiting major national carriers who exited not just our coastal exposure, but all coastal exposure.
Donlin's had several talks with Governor John Bel Edwards about holding a special session next month in order to take swifter action on this insurance crisis. Now, the governor says it can wait until April 10th when the regular session takes place.
I don't believe we will do a special session, but what we do have the opportunity to do, precisely because we have excess in the current year, when we go into session in April, we can very quickly take up a supplemental appropriation that would move money that is excess current year into the incentive program that was reestablished through legislation last year.
Louisiana has endured 5 major hurricanes since Katrina hit the state in 2005. And Donlin says he knows Louisiana Citizens cannot be the only insurance option for homeowners along the state's coast.
We need the insurance coverage that the private sector only the private sector can produce. The state absolutely cannot afford to take on the coverage for hurricane exposure.
Well, in the wake of a News 15 Investigates special report last week on Louisiana's housing insurance crisis, the governor is now doing an about-face. After initially resisting, he's now calling a special session of the state legislature to deal with this crisis triggered by years of rising hurricane damage here in Louisiana.